You just want to know about what to expect from your new job and how your career is going to grow there. Got you. I am not vegan. Right, back to the reading. Honestly, with the vibe that I'm getting here, how's your career looking right now? Like, how's your job life looking right now? Because this has one of two possible meanings, right? This could mean getting a new job altogether, and the main reason why I say getting a new job altogether is because we have the Ace of Pentacles here, and the Death in the reverse, which is like, okay, we have to let go of some things that are holding us back, that are not, like, bringing us into the direction that we want to go in. Like, they're not helping us, you know, they're holding us down, and they're not bringing us any happiness, any contentment, and this card, especially in the reverse, is a card that tries to hang on to those things that it really should let go of. And then the Ace of Pentacles is a card that's full of new opportunities. It's like, here's a opportunity for you to make more money, for you to be more successful, for you to advance, those types of things, is what that is. So if it's not getting a new job altogether, it's getting a better position, like a promotion, those types of things, and then just kind of being a little bit scared to really take that first step and to really just, okay, let me do this, let me go. That's really what it is. Because regardless, there's still that holding on, holding back, and not fully being ready to accept new things just because you're like, okay, well, what about if it doesn't work, you know? You're like too worried about the fears and the what ifs that could happen. But regardless, I do see some nice things. We have the Six of Pentacles here, which is bringing in more balance, you know? It's not overworking yourself, not being super drained. This card is just really good at like managing everything all at once and being like, okay, I know when to set up my boundaries. I know when to be like, okay, this is too much for me. Let me just take a step back. Like, this is a really good balance card to make sure you're not overworking or underworking in that situation. And that's what those new opportunities are going to bring in. Just a lot more balance, a lot more opportunities to make more money, and just be more financially stable. Does that make sense? So I do see some good opportunities here. Either in the form of like promotions or a new job in general. Okay? Is what that is. So I appreciate it. How's it going? How are we feeling right now in this moment? And the main reason why I'm asking how we're feeling right now in this moment is because we have a lot of pentacles, you know, some of which are in the reverse. And we also have a couple of knights. Pretty good. Okay. Because I was trying to place where this card was, right? The Two of Pentacles in the reverse. The Two of Pentacles in the reverse is a chaotic card. It's a card that just feels very overwhelming. It's like, I have all of these things to do. It has no balance. It has no stability. It's like everything is all everywhere, you know? And what's important about this card is that you do your best to bring in that balance. Will things be balanced? Will things be more stable? No. But it's one of those cards where it's like, okay, you still have to try so that way it doesn't get too overwhelming. And this gives me the vibe that this is probably in the near future of what that is, and what you're probably experiencing right now is this Ten of Pentacles moment, which is a card of like feeling just really secure, feeling really safe, just feeling really stable, having a lot of support, those types of things. Because this card has a really nice community, you know? It's like things are solid, things are good, I'm not really too stressed right now, and that's where this card is living. But very soon, there's going to, like, all of that stress, all of that chaos is going to start to come in, and it's going to bring in these two moments. It's going to bring in the Knight of Cups in the reverse, which is like, you just lose all, like, passion for anything. It's like things aren't fun, things don't feel very exciting. This one like makes everything feel like it's a chore. Like even things that like normally bring you happiness, it just is like, this feels like something that I have to do, and that's because of the stress and chaos, where it's like the fun is just sucked out of everything, you know, and you're not really enjoying it, you're just doing it because you have to, you know, sort of like going through the motions is what this card is. And then on the other hand, because of that lack of like really feeling connected with anything, that lack of passion and desire, it brings in this Knight of Pentacles energy in the reverse, which is like, this card is very fickle. Sometimes it's like, but I don't want to do it, so it doesn't do it. You know, it's like, it's very bad at committing to things. It'll be like, yeah, I'll do it. And then the time comes to do whatever you said you were going to do, and you're like, actually, that's not something that I want to do right now. That's not something like I feel like doing. So then you don't, you know? This card just sort of lacks being able to stick to its word, because like everything else is so chaotic, you know, and it just doesn't have that secure sense of safety and stability, which makes sense if we're living in that Two of Pentacles moment, you know. Hey, So I would, since you said that you're going to be moving soon, I think it's probably the stress of moving that's really going to do that, which means that it's not going to last forever. This is going to be like temporary chaos and stress, so that's good. But it's the matter of like getting through all that that's going to be a little bit difficult. And then on top of that, we also have the Seven of Swords here. And the Seven of Swords is usually a theft card. It's like a theft of time and energy. But what's funny about this card in the reverse is like this card thinks that there is someone stealing its time and energy. Like, it's like, okay, well, I don't want to waste my time and energy. I don't want to do all this work and put all this energy in for something that's not going to work out. But that's not how it's going to go. It's more like your fears, like you are projecting your fears onto this situation, which is keeping you from being fully invested into it, is what that is. Because sometimes we're just like, well, I don't want to do all of this and just see it fall flat, you know, which is understandable. But sometimes there are no real signs of it like falling flat and not working out. It's mostly just like us not being fully in the moment, and so we don't fully commit to it. Yeah, which is 100% understandable. Sometimes our fears really do get to us, but just don't let those stop you from doing what you need to do, from experiencing the happiness that you want to experience. Like, yes, things are going to get a little bit rough and you might not be experiencing the joy that you would like to, but don't let that fear hold you back, for sure. Crazy. Can you know about career and your relationship with your boyfriend too? Absolutely, you can know about your career and your relationship with your boyfriend. Let us see what we can see. Let's go. Really? That's crazy. Gingerbread, hey. How do you feel about your career right now in this moment? Cause this is very interesting, actually, is what that is. Very, very interesting. Like, initially I was like, this doesn't look so good because we have the Ace of Cups in the reverse, right? But the thing about the Ace of Cups in the reverse is it just is very draining. Like, it takes a lot out of you, and it just feels like it's draining, honestly. Like, it feels like it's always taking and not giving enough, which makes sense, you know? But on the other hand, we also have the Knight of Wands here, which is like a card that's full of energy, that's full of motivation. It like gets a lot done, and this card gives me the energy of like, while yes, there is that draining that's happening here, I think that that's going to change soon, you know? Like, I feel like there's going to be an opportunity or an instant that happens that just lights that fire where it's like, okay, I feel like I can do something, I feel like I can get something done, I feel like I can, you know, like advance, you know? And that's really what that is. Because we also have the King of Pentacles in the reverse, which is like financially, it's just not doing what it needs to do. It's not bringing in that security. It's not bringing in that safety. It's not bringing in that abundance that is needed for you to like really vibe and thrive and be secure. You know, that's how it is currently, you know? It's just lacking those foundational things that you really need. So I think soon there's going to be a chance for you to really start to see some progress in that and create some foundational stuff where you feel a lot more secure and you feel a lot more like, okay, I'm better. And the main reason why I also say that is because we have the Justice card, right? Not only does the Justice card bring in balance where things are a lot more stable, but this card says that your thoughts, your opinions, you are going to feel heard and seen, and you're going to feel valued. You know, whether this be with like a new job or a promotion or something, there's going to be a change that comes that brings in more stability, brings in more balance, that brings in more fairness, and you're going to feel like you're being valued. So that's the good news. I would say if an opportunity comes towards you where it's like there's a new job, there's a promotion, one of those things, take it, because I think that's what that is. But right now I can see where it's rocky. I can see where it's crazy. And then you're interviewing right now. Yeah, continue that process, because I think that's going to lead you into a good place, honestly. And then with your boyfriend, I do have a question that's only slightly relevant. Have you and your boyfriend gotten into an argument or something of recently? That's my only question. Because I don't see anything concerning, right? Like, I actually see some pretty good stuff here. Like, we have the Ten of Pentacles, which is a card where, like, people are connected, they feel very supported, like, the communication's usually pretty good. But then on the other hand, we also have the Four of Cups here in the reverse, which is a hard-headed and stubborn card. Like, this card, sometimes it sucks at just really opening itself up to new things. Sometimes it can suck at, like, really expressing its emotions. You've had a revelation, you feel like you need to break up with him. Oh, okay. That's what that is. Because I was like, like, this is almost giving me mixed signals. Like, technically, is there anything wrong with the relationship currently? No. But also, there's a need to, like, grow. Like, that's what this Sun card is, you know? Like, the Sun card is like, you need to grow, you need to learn, you need to develop, you need to work on yourself. And sometimes those things cannot be done in a relationship. Like, sometimes they can, don't get me wrong. But sometimes there's just some growth and learning that has to be done outside of the relationship, genuinely. And if you're feeling called to walk away to work on yourself, I would say probably take that, you know? Just because it'll lead you into two places, right? It'll lead you to not only understanding yourself better, like feeling like you're just emotionally in a really good place, but it'll also make you feel like a whole brand new different person. And that might also lead you to be like, actually, this relationship isn't what I want anymore, you know? Because sometimes we grow out of people, and that's just the sad truth, you know? So if that's something that you're feeling called to do, I would say go for it. And don't feel bad for it, because it happens. Sometimes you do need space to grow and understand who you are and what you really want and what it is that's really keeping you from what you want in life. So I would say go for that. Absolutely. They were like, these random sounds together mean this. And that's basically what it is. Yes, the short answer to your question is yes, you will end up moving in the near future. And the main reason why I say this is because of the Eight of Wands in the upright. The Eight of Wands is like a fast-moving, energetic card where it's like all of these good things are coming towards you, good news. Like anything you've been waiting on, you're going to see some good movement towards that. Another reason why I say yes is because we have the Eight of Cups here in the reverse, which the Eight of Cups is a card where you're leaving things behind. You're like, okay, this is no longer serving me. It's no longer bringing me happiness. It's no longer bringing me into the direction that I need to go. So there is that act of like, okay, I'm walking away. I'm finding things that are for me, you know? And is that walking away part going to be a little bit difficult and a little bit hard? Yes, but it's definitely something that you're in the process of doing. So the short answer, yeah, for sure. A little bit more clarification on what was going here, because like the very first card to come out was the Tower, which is not the best card, right? Especially when we're thinking about relationships. That's like all of the chaos all of the time. Have you heard about the chaos theory? No, I have not. The butterfly effect? Yes. Hold up. Pause. Let me finish this reading. Right. So we have the Tower here, which is that chaos card. Basically what this card is it's like the structure of the relationship coming down. It just, everything feels very chaotic. Everything feels like it's falling apart. And it just feels very unsettling, you know? And it causes a lot of stress and a lot of chaos. Like this is the crumbling of relationships most times, right? But what's important to know about this card right here is in that deconstruction, in that crumbling, you're able to clearly see, okay, what is not working, what needs to be worked on, what is currently working, and so that way you can rebuild it, you know? That's really what this is. It's like, okay, let's find out, let's see what's not working, let's see what we need to fix, let's see what needs to be worked on, so that way we can build something that's better than it is right now. But basically, what we have here is waiting. Like, you guys need a little bit of space from each other, a little distance from each other. And the main reason why I say this is because we have this Four of Swords here, which is a card where it's like, okay, you need to be by yourself. You need to, like, rejuvenate, re-energize yourself. Like, just heal a little bit is what this card says, you know? So it needs that break from other people, which makes sense if you guys aren't talking at this moment in time. We also have the Seven of Pentacles in the reverse, which is a card where it's like things feel very hard, things feel like they're not working out. Like this card gets very tired. It's like I've been putting in all this work and all this effort and it feels like it's not going anywhere. It feels like it's not turning into anything. And that's part of the reason why we need that break, why we need to take that step back, because if you're so in it, you can't see what's accurately going on. So you need to take that step back, see things clearly, so that way you can be like, okay, what am I doing that's not working? Let me readjust some things. Let me figure out how to do this correctly. But what I would suggest is in this time of you guys not talking and not communicating is doing some reevaluations of the relationship, you know? That's really what I would suggest. Like, number one, focus on you. Make sure you are doing okay mentally, physically, and emotionally, but just reevaluate yourself, the relationship, and figure out what you need, you know? And if you're like, okay, let's continue this, then make sure that you set up those boundaries. Make sure you guys communicate your wants and your needs. You know, be like, okay, this is what has to happen, and if it's not going to happen, well then I'm walking away. You know, clearly set up those rules. Does that make sense? Number one, Brianna, I'm going to need you to protect yourself, right? Spiritually, energetically, protect yourself. And the main reason why I say this is because we have the Seven of Swords here. And the Seven of Swords is a theft card. It's a situation or a person that's just taking your time and your energy. It's draining you, and it just wants to do this thing where it like takes, and it never gives, you know? So this is one of those cards where you have to like reevaluate what is draining you, you know, and be like, okay, let me distance myself from that thing. Let me make sure that I'm protecting myself energetically and that not just anyone has access to me, because that is incredibly important. In that same note, because we have those situations that are taking from us and that are draining from us, we have the Eight of Wands here in the reverse, which is a card where you get bad news. It's like a very demotivated card. You don't see any progress being made or happening. And things just don't really go your way, you know? So we need to like take a step back, focus on us, reevaluate things, to make sure that we're doing them in the right way, you know? And potentially it could be, if you're trying to do something, if you're trying to see some progress in some area of life, it could be just the way that you're trying to do it, which is why you're not seeing that progress. It could be one of those things where you're trying to do this by yourself, and you might need help. And the reason why I say that is because we have the Lover's card. And the Lover's card, it's less about like relationships and more about a partnership. It's more like, okay, there are two people who have an agreement, who are on the same page. They're like, I'll help you, you help me, like I get that, you get this, and that's really what it is. Like, this card is a partnership. So in order to see some real progress and some real movement in that, you might need someone else's help to help get that along. Does that make sense? That's really what that is. But main thing number one, protect yourself energetically. Reevaluate some of the situations in your life. Totally, you're going to school and recently have been taking a step back from bad people in your life, which is great. I love that. And it, especially when you're going to school, that can be a lot, you know? So it could just be like, not right now that's going to happen, like this upcoming semester. And throughout this next semester, which is like January through April, I think, just getting someone to help you and like be like, okay, and here's what you do, here's what you need to do all that, you know, and just help you with all of that. It really could just be that, where it's slightly delayed and not something that's never going to happen. Does that make sense? Super draining. Exactly. And we all need help every once in a while, you know? I need help, you need help. No shame in that game, honestly. But that's basically what it is. It's just you protecting yourself, taking back your energy, taking back your power, and then getting help where it's needed.